Hello, 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 hello. I'm out here enjoying this beautiful view before I go to family fun night with the Knox RIA. So in October, I bought the Knoxville Real Estate Investors Association, and I'm a huge real estate nerd, and I like to encourage women to become real estate investors. And I hear this all the time, and I've seen this actually in action a couple different times. Hey, Kendra. I talked to a lady the other day who told me, this isn't something that I know, this is something another lady told me, that women usually get put in charge of taking care of the children. I had no idea. I don't have any kids, so I feel completely unqualified to speak about women and children because I don't have any, okay? I got houses, I got tenants, I got dogs, I got problems, but kids ain't one, okay? So I'm always pretty nervous to talk about women and children because I'm not qualified. But what I understand is that a lot of times ladies get a heavier burden, and I say a lot of times because it's not all the time, I get that, but ladies get a heavier burden or a heavier share of the child rearing responsibilities. All right, there's some statistics out there that say if you get divorced, the mom's getting the kids. That doesn't always happen. I get it. There's exceptions. I'm not talking to you if you're an exception. I'm just saying a majority of the time, more than likely, the kids are going to call mom if they need to get picked up at school. The kids are going to call mom if they, need something. And it turns out that a lot of ladies lose about 5 years of their career because they're staying home taking care of the kids. And this is a great job. This is fantastic. And, I love that women have this desire to stay home and take care of the kids. I'm starting to develop that myself, okay? Not anytime soon. Y'all chill, all right? # chill. But I get it. And so I'm starting to really want to encourage women not to let the kids be the excuse that keeps you out of the meetings, keeps you out of the deals. Let the kids be your why. Most of the time when I talk to women, I'm like, well, why do you want to get into real estate investing? They say, my kids. They say, so I can leave my kids something, so I can show my kids that there's another way to make money than getting a job. I talked to a lady today got divorced, took 5 years to get divorced. Her kids are now 21 and 18, all right? Their parents have been getting divorced for 5 years, and she is realizing that she needs to show her daughters especially, hey, I built dad's business, now he's got the business and I got nothing. All right? So women tell me that they want to show their kids that there's another way to make money. But then I very commonly also hear that ladies, and Andrea, I'm not picking on you. You said this today, but I had this video planned before you even told me this. So I'm not picking on you. But I'll use Andrea as a great excuse. We had a lunch and learn yesterday, and Andrea said that she couldn't come to the lunch and learn because she had her kid. Y'all, don't miss lunch just because you got your kid. I don't care if you have to go through McDonald's and then bring your kid and let him eat McDonald's in this restaurant. This restaurant has a kids menu. This restaurant has seen kids before. In fact, all of us used to be a kid, okay? I'm still kind of a kid. Don't use your kids as an excuse not to come. My mom's pastor one day in the sermon said that he loves to hear crying babies. Y'all don't be ashamed if you've got your kid and they start crying, because if we don't have crying babies around, we don't have a future. If I don't have kids in the audience, there's nobody to leave these houses to. All right? Don't use your kids as an excuse. If you got to bring your kid and come to lunch, then come to lunch. A lot of ladies have told me they can't go to RIA meetings, and this breaks my heart. They tell me they can't go to RIA meetings, whether it's my meeting or somebody else's meeting, because it's in the evenings, and they've got the kids in the evenings. And I'm like, well, I mean, the kid's going to sit there and probably pay on the iPad anyway. Why not just bring them and park them with their iPad and you can learn. Or, tell you what, promise, for the Knox REIA meetings, if you and your spouse want to come to the meeting, somebody can sit outside in the lobby with the kids if you want to, or you can bring the kids in. I'm not going to charge you to bring the kids into the meeting. All right? Bring the kids into the meeting. I don't care. We're doing a lot of things with the Knox REIA that we didn't used to do with the Knox REIA. And, you know, for She Buys It Live, like, I don't care. I don't want you to miss a meeting just because you didn't have childcare, or because the meeting was going to cost you so much and then you're going to have to pay somebody to babysit, so it's like twice as expensive to come, and you're a single mom already anyway, and you don't want to fork out, you know, all this money and then childcare and all this stuff, and then you can't pay attention to it. Like, don't use your kids as an excuse. Just bring them. Don't use your kids as an excuse as to why you can't go look at houses. Ladies tell me this all the time too. Well, I've got the kids. I can't go look at houses. Y'all, you're going to take your kids to Walmart. All the germs in Walmart, there's probably more germs in Walmart than in this seller's house. So I'm not really sure why you don't want to take your kids into the seller's house. Most of y'all are wanting to buy houses so that your kids have an inheritance. Well, don't you want to take your kid and introduce your kid to the seller, so when you tell the seller, hey, I got kids, they're like looking at the kid? Also, I just want to throw this as a negotiation tactic out there. I don't want y'all to use your kids or take advantage of your kids, but if you got to feed them, like, I'm a result of child labor. My mama worked me. My mama made me sell my own coupon books, and not in the bad way of like child labor where they're taking advantage of kids or like child trafficking or anything. Not like that, but like if my mom had to go to work and I was sick, guess who went to work? In the summer times, guess who went to work and made the employee packets? Guess who went to work and ran the errands because I had a driver's license, she had to do something with me? Okay, like, let your kids help you mail the letters. Let your kids help you go driving for dollars and spotting empty houses. Let your kids go on seller appointments with you. All right? You have kids. You're a mom. That's part of your story. That's what makes you strong. And that's what helps you get these deals done, because I'm telling you what, ain't nobody stopping Mama Bear. When y'all decide that you're going to do something, you're going to buy houses, and you're going to do it to protect your kids, nobody is going to stop you. Nobody can stop you, because you can't stop a mom. You can't. You can't stop a mom who has decided that she's going to do something better for her kids. And if that means that you got to take your kids and negotiate while your kids are like running around in the kitchen table, you just got to figure out how to take your kids and let them learn what you're doing. Wouldn't it be better for your kids to learn how to do this as you're learning how to do this? Your kids, you send them to school and expect them to pay attention for 8 hours a day. Wouldn't it be cool if you took your kids to school, to the REIA meetings, or to the extra sessions, or to the whatevers, so that they can learn how to be a real person? Because I know when I was in school, they didn't teach me how to be a real person. They didn't teach me how to really make money. They didn't teach me about real estate. They didn't teach me any real life skills. My mama taught me that. It would have been awesome. I mean, she taught me some really good life skills, like when I was younger. But she didn't ever really teach me real estate. It would have been awesome if I would have had some exposure. I mean, no telling what I would have done if she would have started like training me sooner. I always helped her get the rent checks out of the mailbox. I knew that we had rental properties. I knew that they did fix and flips. Like, I knew that stuff, but I didn't ever like pay attention to it and realize how important it was for me to pay attention. Don't let your kids hold you back, ladies. Don't. Use them as your why. Most of the time y'all tell me it's your why, but then you use them as an excuse. It's like a double-edged sword, and I'm honestly kind of confused. If the kids are the why we're doing all this stuff, where are they? Why aren't they with you? Why aren't you letting them helping you? And kids understand stuff. They understand things in a really great way. And Kendra was with me at lunch yesterday, and she told me that she was trying to explain to her son that she's buying houses, but we're not going to live in them. Y'all, that's got to be so cool for him to think about as he grows up, that people own houses and other people live in it, and mama makes money off of this. That is super cool. All right, some of y'all watching the FDDF videos, you're watching the modules. Let the kids watch with you. Maybe they pay attention. Maybe they pick something up. Maybe they hear something and then they see an empty house while you're distracted driving. And not distracted driving, but you are focused on driving and not looking at empty houses. Maybe the kids see that. I'll tell y'all, I used to do FDDF Live all over the country, and it was awesome. It was like 3 days of First Still Done Fast, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I did one in Rome, Georgia, because that's where my husband lived. And he had to go pick up his youngest son, Harrison, and then they were going to football practice or basketball practice, or they just left and they were going to whatever. They ended up at FDDF Live for like an hour. And Jason was like, what am I going to do with Harrison while I'm at Live? And I was like, I mean, just bring him into the room. He's not going to hurt anything. Maybe he'll learn something, or maybe he'll think I'm crazier. I am the stepmom after all. But Harrison came in and he saw these people that had come from all over the country to listen to me talk about real estate. And, he just looks at me like, that's just Whitney. But he was watching these people watch and listen to me. And he thought, well, maybe she has something to say. Well, he didn't say anything. He didn't ask any questions, but he was just absorbing. He was probably on his iPad, or iPhone or whatever, just doing his, little boy thing, and just in the room, but he was quiet, and, that was fine. But on the way home, he said, hey, Dad, look, there's an empty house behind that gas station. Why don't you buy it? He was listening. And kids are smart. Because as adults, we've got in this process of thinking things through. We overthink. Ladies, you don't have to say amen down in the comments, but some of y'all need to be liking this post right now, because you are some overthinking moms. You overthink everything, don't you? But kids, nobody's taught them to be an overthinker yet. So when I explain things to them, or I just say things to them, a lot of times they just get it. Look at these French fries coming out to attack me. Attack French fries. When I say things to kids, though, they just get it, and they don't overcomplicate it. They don't overthink it. So there's probably a good chance, if you bring your kids to the RIA meetings, if you bring your kids to some, free conferences that the city's putting on or whatever, there's a good chance they're going to pick up on something, and they're going to simplify it, and they're going to teach you some lessons about some real estate. All right? Y'all, don't use your kids as an excuse. Don't stay home and miss the meetings just because you got a kid. Now, if your kid is sick, or there's, something where it's like super inconvenient, or, they got games, I understand kids have their own lives. They got their own things going on. But don't just say, oh, well, I got a kid, and I'm going to stop saying, oh, okay, that's a valid excuse. Y'all, bring your kids. You're busting your butt every single day. Everybody I know is busting their butt every single day to create a better life for their kids. Maybe the kids could chip in a little bit and attend these meetings. Attend these lunches, these dinners, these things. All right? Because it's a family thing, y'all. I'm sure everybody has heard of a family that had a whole bunch of rental properties, and then it got left to a generation, and they just sold it all, right? Or they just squandered it all and lost it all, right? That's probably not the family that involved the kids. That's probably a family that either made it look like a lot of work and the kids wouldn't ever want to do it, or they made it too complicated. They never involved the kids. But if you can get the kids involved, you can figure out what part of this really sparks them and gets them excited. There's a good chance when you hand off these portfolios to these kids, they're going to love it, and they're going to grow it, and they're going to do all the things that you want for them. But if you just hand them stuff and you didn't train them on it, they may lose it. Y'all, don't use your kids as an excuse. Use them as your why. You tell me they are your why, and then you use them as an excuse why you can't hang or why you can't do this, that, and the other. Don't do that, ladies. As a society, I think we give women a free pass sometimes. And listen, if you gotta stay home and take a self-care night and you just cannot real estate nerd with me anymore, that's cool. And if you want to blame that on your kids, that's cool too. But don't use it as an excuse. And also hold your girlfriends to this too. Don't let them use the kids as an excuse anymore either. As women, we used to come together a lot. Like, a lot. People used to like hang out and stuff and just pop over to people's houses and they just visit for hours. Now we all get off work in our little box. We go home in our little box. We sit in front of a little box and we play on a little box. Y'all get out and hang with the people and bring your kids if you have to. Just don't use them as an excuse anymore. All right? In fact, tonight, we're having family fun night. And we are going to Myrtle's for dinner. And then we're going ice skating. Last month, we went bowling. Next month, we're going to go to an Ice Bears game. All of that stuff is totally open and available for you, your husband, your wife, your kids, your parents. My parents are getting ready right now. That was them letting the dogs out for last potty break. Don't use your kids as an excuse. Go to the meetings. If you got a, tag team, maybe you don't want your kid in the meeting because you think they'll be distracting everybody else. We could have a little kids section if we need it, okay? We'll have things for the kids to do if we need it. We'll have, maybe somebody sit outside with the kids if we need to. Like, we will figure it out, y'all. I don't want any woman missing any opportunity because she feels like the kids aren't welcome. The kids are why we're doing this. Okay? Bring them. They don't bother me. They don't bother anything. My place is not exactly kid-proof, but tell me what I need to do and we'll fix it. All right, ladies? Don't miss these opportunities. Don't miss the opportunities to connect with other people, and don't miss the opportunities to teach your kids, to show them that you're learning. I mean, kids think adults have it all figured out. I don't know any adult that has anything figured out. We're all just figuring it out. Saw a quote the other day that said, it's really funny when you're a kid, you're actually watching your parents grow up too. And it's true. I'm still watching my parents grow up. Maybe that's why I'm still a kid, because I'm still watching them grow up. Y'all, don't use the kids as an excuse. Whatever it is you want to do, go do it. Go do it. Go to the meetings, bring the kids. Go to the dinners, bring the kids. Go to the lunches, bring the kids. Go to the seller's house, bring the kids. Answer the phone with a kid crying in the background. I've answered the phone with dogs barking in the background. And if that's not professional enough for somebody, go find somebody else, because I'm living my life. And my life includes a barking dog right now. When my life includes a crying kid, I'll either not answer the phone right this second and call you back, or I'll answer the phone and there'll be a kid crying in the background. Work-life balance. It's just work-life. There's no balance. It's just all of it all the time. Don't use your kids as an excuse. Use them as your why. Let them really be their why. Let them know that they are your why. And bring them. Okay? All right. If you're in Knoxville, we're going to Myrtle's at 6, and then we're going ice skating. I need to go in here and get me some gloves because it is cold out here. If you're not in Knoxville or you didn't know about the Knoxria, then we'll check you in January. Go to knoxria.com. If you're not in Knoxville, you can still be a virtual member. You just don't get to hang out with us. Sorry, hate it for you. But if you're also not in Knoxville and you want to learn how to get your first deal done fast, I have a course where I help women, specifically women, get their first deal done fast. Now, technically, There's not a sign anywhere on any of my websites that says no boys allowed. I just really love hanging out with women. I really love encouraging women. So I focus on helping women get their first deal done fast. All those details are on firstdealdonefast.com. And I want to help you. Let me know. Let me know how I can help. Let me know what I can do. And y'all quit using these excuses. Quit using these kids as the excuses. Make up a new excuse. If you just want to take a night, then take a night, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Your kids aren't going to bother anybody. Or if they bother somebody, whatever. They probably bother the people who didn't used to be a kid. All right, I'm out of here. Mwah! Good night. Y'all have fun with those kids tonight.